Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a home that burnt down this past weekend in Perry County is now the scene of an arson investigation. Also in Perry County, we talked with the employee who was on duty when a hazard subway was robbed Saturday. And we take you to Knott County, where some people could see their water bill go up dramatically after one company's decision to hike prices up by more than 40%.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:31 on this Tuesday. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Madison has the day off. If you're wanting to sleep in this morning, it is the perfect weather to do so. If you're wanting to wake up, good luck. Let's bring Brandon in this morning to get a breakdown of just what to expect on this Monday 2.0. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, and yes, it is a Monday 2.0. It is Tuesday, so don't let that confuse you. But again, it's just that same cycle. It's like Groundhog Day. If you've ever seen that movie with Bill Murray, it's just like we're reliving the same forecast over and over again. But at least it's mild for this time of the year. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. And if I hear Sonny and Cher singing "I Got You, Baby," I'm going to really get nervous. But again, we're looking at the heaviest bands of rain starting to get into I-75 corridor right now. They've taken a little bit longer to get there, but it's basically anywhere you see those darker bands of green or yellow, that's heavy rain this morning. Visibility taking a hit anywhere below 5 miles or even close to 5 miles. Be careful out there this morning. Slow down. All the roads across the region are wet this morning. Everybody's had some rain overnight. Outside WYMT looks like a little bit of fog trying to build in here. Temperatures in the 50s, so that's nice this morning. Anywhere between 50 and 57, so that's basically warmer than our average daytime highs for this time of the year. 60 today after a little bit more of a cool down as we head through mid-morning, and then we'll start to bounce back up briefly, and the rain chances will continue off and on throughout the day. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, a tanker truck driver says a GPS mishap led to a bad crash and hazmat situation in Whitley County yesterday. Some people were even told to leave their homes. Nick Oliver brings us the update on the situation.
There's a lot of pressure when behind the wheel of a 40-ton big rig. That pressure on where to go and who to trust. More specific, which technology to trust.
Some guys, the older guys, they still use maps out here.
When's the last time you used a map?
Well, I threw my map away 10 years ago when the GPSs came out.
Tom, a truck driver from Tennessee, says there's a difference in GPS many don't know about. The difference between a truck driver's GPS and your average app on your phone. Monday morning, Kentucky saw an example of this. A truck driver with 5,000 gallons of fuel took the wrong turn in Whitley County down a narrow road. An accident later, no injuries, but a big cleanup.
Accidents happen. Ask any truck driver here, but they will tell you when it comes to the situation that happened in Whitley County, they say that could have been avoided.
It's real easy if you follow that car GPS because it thinks you're a car, but if you got common sense, you know, you're not supposed to go in a neighborhood.
Tom says he sees situations just like this happen all over the country. He believes part of the problem is uneducation and the cost of a truck driver's GPS. On average, it costs triple the amount for your average TomTom. With, of course, the goal being the truck driver's GPS will avoid small roads and take truck drivers down routes that allow the size of their truck to easily make it through.
The guys just starting out, they don't have enough money for it.
But when it comes to that pressure, he says there's some tools you just can't pass up on. In Lexington,
If you don't have that trucker's GPS, you can get in trouble out here.
Nick Oliver, WYMT Mountain News.
Transportation laws prohibit drivers from holding on to any electronic while driving. Many communities do have regulations for roads semi-trucks can and cannot drive on. Now, also happening in Whitley County, one man learned how long he will spend in prison for a murder. A judge sentenced Paul Parsons to 20 years in prison. He was convicted on murder and robbery charges. He killed Denver Neasley and Joshua Wernicke back in 2017. Parsons received 20 years for murder and 15 years for robbery. Those sentences will run together. In Wise County, Virginia, one person was killed and 2 others were injured in an apparent ambush-style shooting. This all happened at a cemetery on Limestone Road near US 23. Police say a woman drove a man named William Mills up to the cemetery to meet 39-year-old Christopher Stevens. When they arrived, someone started shooting into the car. Mills was able to get out of the car, but was chased by another man named Jared Hash, who was firing a gun. When police arrived, the unidentified woman was found shot in the back. Mills was found wounded in the woods. He had to be airlifted out. Stevens was found dead. It is not clear who shot into the car, but Hash was charged with aggravated malicious wounding. Mills was later arrested on unrelated charges. Officials say a house burned down in the Browns Fork community of Perry County Sunday night. Responders were called to the scene around 10 p.m. They later requested an arson investigator. There are several cars near the burned house that appear to have broken windows, but officials have not yet determined if this has anything to do with the current investigation.
Those are details as this investigation continues that should be more available as soon in the near future.
It is also unclear if anyone lived in the house at the time of the fire or if anyone was hurt. A Pulaski County man is charged with child endangerment after police say he drove drunk with his young son in the car. Someone called police about a possible DUI, and when officers arrived, they say they found Hermelinda Morales staggering into Walmart. They say he smelled strongly of alcohol, had bloodshot, watery eyes, and slurred speech. Morales was arrested and taken to the Pulaski County Detention Center. A major drug bust in southern Kentucky. Police in Wayne County confiscated more than a pound of crystal meth. The Monticello Police Department found the meth at the Best Western on Kentucky 90. They say it was about $50,000 worth of meth. They also found what looked like cocaine, a gun, and more than $5,000 in cash. Barney B.J. Warner and Savannah Sullivan were both charged with trafficking. 2 men are facing drug trafficking charges after a traffic stop. Here's a look at what Corbin police found. You can see cash and a gun. Police say they found oxycodone, Suboxone, and suspected heroin. Police arrested Justin Helton and Michael Witchman. Both are charged with drug trafficking and not having a prescription drug in a proper container. A couple of homeowners held a would-be burglar at gunpoint in Clay County. Deputies say Jonathan Sizemore was found going through the couple's property. Police also say he admitted to doing meth. Sizemore was charged with burglary and public intoxication. Well, in Perry County, the subway on Village Lane was robbed in broad daylight on Saturday morning. The Hazard Police Department responded to a call around 11:45 a.m. Once on scene, an undisclosed amount of money had been taken by the suspect. Courtney Cox, the employee who he demanded the money from, says she never thought this would happen to her.
I'm more thankful now over, what I dealt with and what I've seen and all that. I hold my children just a little bit more tighter,
Police are still looking for the suspect. He is described as a white male, roughly 6 feet tall, about 185 pounds, last seen wearing a dark hoodie and black jogging pants. If you have any information, you can contact the Hazard Police Department. One man has been waiting for answers for 4 months during an ongoing investigation into his home that was burglarized at least 2 different times. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to that homeowner that had evidence potentially pointing to who broke into his home.
This home has been in the King family for more than 50 years.
I've been 1,000 places. I've been overseas, and I always come home. This is home. It always will be.
So when he came to find this destruction during his remodel of the house, he knew it was not from any work being done. That is when he found several items missing.
The very next day, early in the day, my class ring shows up down at the pawn shop in Pineville.
That was not all. They stole his grandmother's oil lamps and several guns, just to name a few. So he put these up for when they tried to come back.
They walked face into it. They walked face into this one, is outside.
It was a clear image of who investigators say is Jackie Howard Jr., which led to his arrest on January 24th. Now, Dwight just asked for one thing in particular to be returned: his dad's rifle.
It's a .22, it wood stock, it's bolt action. It's got an odd clip that goes with it. I'll give them a couple $100 and I don't even have to know their name or nothing. I don't have to know nothing.
Howard was charged with receiving stolen property, and more arrests are expected to come out of Harlan County, where several of the guns were pawned as well. In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Howard will be in court this afternoon at 1 in Bell County. Now to an update on the Bell County Jail. County officials met with the state yesterday, laying out their plan to fix the smoke evacuation system. State officials revealed Friday that system is not up to fire code, and they ordered inmates to be moved out this week. Judge Executive Albie Brock expects work to be completed by the end of the month to fix the issues. He told us the state should have a decision later today on how to move forward. Knott County Water Sewer District customers will be seeing their water bills jump 45%. The Public Service Commission approved an immediate 45% increase. There has not been an increase in 17 years, but the PSC says the district has many financial problems. The PSC says they also found several water board members illegally granted themselves full health insurance benefits, costing more than $100,000. But that money did not affect the rate increase.
You can't operate even on your budget, and so we did need the rate increase. We hoped it wouldn't be that much. It's unfortunate that is that amount, that percentage amount, but still, I feel good that we're not higher than anybody else in the state.
The 45% increase is for their 3,000 retail customers. Their wholesale customers will only see about a 9% increase.
6:42 here on this Tuesday morning, and live pinpoint Doppler radar showing lots of green and yellow, indicating some heavier bands of rain. So be careful this morning. Visibility in Harlan down to 1 mile or less there, so be careful of that. And we're seeing lots of areas 5 miles or less, so watch out for that as well. Dense fog, heavy rain. Temperatures anywhere between the 50-degree mark and 55, so they're continuing to cool down this morning. We're going to continue to see that trend anywhere from right where it was this time yesterday morning until 19 degrees warmer in some spots. The wind also coming in from the south, so that's going to bring those temperatures back up a little bit. Out the door forecast, we dropped below what I was expecting there for about 7 o'clock because it took forever to get there, but I'd say mid-50s this morning until we get later into the morning. Then we'll start to climb back up towards 60 as we head deeper into the afternoon, even with the rain. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Here's a look at what's ahead. In the wake of the Black Jewel saga, Wyoming Legislative Committee endorsed 2 measures to help workers recover wages from bankrupt coal companies. And we look west to Texas, where police say 2 people have died following a shooting at a university.